The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week on FRCmedia News, Fall River launches its water taxi service. High school graduation season is upon us. We have a preview. And the Fall River Pride Committee readies for its next Pride Festival at the gates of the city. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, May 30th, 2024. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. Late last week, the City of Fall River unveiled its water taxi service that will patrol the Taunton River along the waterfront through the upcoming summer. The project was organized in conjunction with Michael Lund of Borden Light Marina.
In conjunction with the mayor and the Office of Community Development, we came together and we are initiating the first boat ever for the city. And upon its success, we look forward to introducing further boats down the line. Our goal is to go throughout the summer, Thursday through Monday, from noon to 8 p.m. And it allows members of our community, or members from outside the community, to hop on board at any number of 4 stops and commute back and forth for a nominal fee and visit the different sites here that Fall River has to offer, from its parks to its restaurants to its attractions inland a block. And it will also run in conjunction at times in the peak season with the new trolley that the city has brought online. And it's really our goal, along with the goal of the Route 79 project, is to bring people down to the waterfront and see some of the wonderful things that Fall River has to offer.
The fee to ride the water taxi is $3. The boat has limited capacity, but Mr. Lund says there are opportunities to grow the fleet if needed.
If we have the success that we think we all anticipate, it's our goal to bring about additional boats as well as a dining boat, where you'll be able to reserve a meal and go on a dining boat and pass the Battleship Massachusetts, go underneath the Braga Bridge, which is our Commonwealth is lighting in the next, going to illuminate it over the next 6 months. An incredible project spearheaded by our mayor. You go to often communities and all the bridges are illuminated on your way to Newport, on your way to Boston, and ours is sat in darkness. And I think it's a real metaphor for what's happening here in Fall River, that finally our bridge, since its construction in the 50s, is being illuminated to say we're not a dark, old, tired mill city, but we're a new city on the rise.
Mayor Paul Coogan says the water taxi is another tool for residents and visitors to enjoy Fall River this summer.
This is a pilot program. Mike and I have talked about additional boats, as he said, and that would be the best of all worlds if we had a number of boats doing this because of demand. We're going to wait and see what it looks like for people that want to use it in conjunction with the trolley. It's 4 stops now, but we have opportunities to hit other places along the way, which we will look in depending on how this goes over. I just want people to understand it's a pilot. We're going to get this going, and it's our goal to get this waterfront opened up to as number of people. What Mike's investment has with the Pier 52, the marina, the Tipsy, and even in the back, the Tipsy Toboggan. These are all restaurants that we hope bring people to our waterfront to dine, go to canned heat, have a beer. That's what we want. We want people having fun in the summer on the waterfront of Fall River.
Last week, the school committee was given the name of 4 candidates as finalists to be Fall River's next superintendent of schools. The next phase of the process is interviewing the candidates at a public meeting. Mayor Paul Coogan says he hopes to schedule those interviews soon.
We're looking at a couple of dates in June. Again, we have a couple of committee members that are traveling. There's other school events. There's graduations. It's just a tough time of year to coordinate getting 11 people all on the same page. Actually, more than that when you look at the support help. So that's our problem. We floated dates over and over. Some people can make it, some people can't. So we're trying to settle on a date. It looks like it will be the first or second week of June, but again, that depends on availability of everybody.
The mayor says with the process open to the public, there are best practices to follow when it comes to ensuring each candidate is treated fairly.
You want to ask all the candidates the same questions so that you get a fair interview. Obviously, you're allowed to follow up or to deviate if you want to, but at the same time, if you have a standard set of questions, then you can use a rubric to score them. And then again, how they deliver them, how they present themselves. Those are all things that factor into any interview. So we want to try to make sure it's as fair as possible for all four of the candidates, and everybody gets an opportunity to hear them and makes their judgment.
The school committee is hopeful to get a new candidate in place before July 1st, as outgoing Superintendent Maria Ponce is set to retire on June 30th. We're entering high school graduation season here in Fall River with 4 ceremonies taking place next week. The Argosy Collegiate Charter School will hold its 4th graduation ceremony next Wednesday, June 5th at 5:30 p.m. at the Narrow Center for the Arts. Founding Director Kristen Pavo says the 48 graduates are all prepared to take the next steps in their educational journey.
One thing that makes Argosy truly unique in the city of Fall River is our wall-to-wall early college program. 12 years ago actually, when I wrote the charter for Argosy, it was a charter focused on college preparation because there was not a single school in Fall River that was focused on college preparation. Fall River has a history of being, very working class with a lot of vocational supports and programming, so we were thrilled to fill this niche. We are now a wall-to-wall early college program in Massachusetts, which is a unique program. There are not that many of them, which means that 100% of our high school scholars take early college courses at some point in time in their high school program, and to some degree. Some will have 3 to 10 college credits. Other scholars will have a year or more college credits, and we're building towards an associate's degree before high school graduation. So that in and of itself is very unique on top of the small school setting and all of the extra supports that we put in for scholars. Even though the high school graduation is relatively new at Argosy, the event looks to tap into its history. One of the things that we do a little different and a little bit unique, I think, is that our keynote speaker is an alumni. We started this tradition last year, and we thought, what a better way to really showcase and highlight the work of our organization by having an alumni come back and speak to the graduates, the families, the Board of Trustees, the foundation, our staff, and guests. So we're really excited to continue that tradition this year. Argosy Executive Director Sunil Jagannath says during the 2023-2024 academic year, students at the comprehensive grade 6 to 12th school have experienced marked improvement in many school benchmarks, thanks in large part to the Argosy community.
This year has been so successful because of the strength of our team, our leadership team, our educator teams at both buildings, our middle school and our high school. Just so fortunate to have to work so closely with such a caring group of educators. Literally everyone in the school and the organization is working to provide scholars with as many tuition-free college credits as possible, and that is our sole mission. It feels really good to know that working shoulder to shoulder with people that are all rowing in the same direction.
During the 2023-2024 school year, Argosy celebrated its 10th anniversary of servicing Fall River students. Ms. Pavo says in that time, the school is thankful for its success and looks forward to the future. With less than 200 graduates in 4 years, we have a second scholar graduating, attending Harvard next year on a full scholarship. And that's just one of the celebrations. And while we're very, very proud of that, we're also proud of the work. Many of our scholars are going to continue on at Bristol Community College and attaining their associate's degree, transferring to a state school to really maximize their opportunities of being an in-state college student, and also with 100% college credit transfer to state schools. So we now have scholars and alumni on
our state school campuses, University of Massachusetts, University of Dartmouth, Bridgewater State. And so we're really excited about that, excited to expand the footprint where our alumni are attending colleges and universities. So 100% of our graduating class this year earned college credits this year. So we're thrilled about that. And we're excited to see how that continues and how they're role modeling for future classes to come through the school.
Argosy has a total school population of 560 scholars, but has room for growth. Enrollment for the fall is now open, with information available on the school's website. Diamond Regional Vocational Technical High School will celebrate the class of 2024 at its graduation exercises also next Wednesday evening. The ceremony will begin at 6 p.m. and for the second straight year will be held at McAldrich Field at BMC Durfee High School. Construction on a new diamond has forced the ceremony to be moved from the school's campus on Stonehaven Road. Assistant Superintendent Principal Andrew Ribello says graduation is always a special occasion.
It has to be the celebration of it, the celebration of our seniors, the smiles on their faces, but not only our students and their smiles and their how proud they feel, but the parents too and the families who have seen these kids through their entire educational career, their whole lives, graduating from high school. It's a huge milestone, right? It's a core memory that they'll never lose, and we're happy to provide and see that along. I think that's the best part of it.
Mr. Ribello says the class of 2024 was the class that entered a new school environment under the restrictions of the COVID pandemic.
For the start of their high school career, and then even the year following that, 22-23, was still a tough year. So, that perseverance, that determination, that will to, go through those hard times definitely made them better. It's a different student in front of us than 5-10 years ago, and that's due to the circumstances of our society, our world, what these kids are going through. So when they had to go through, shop exploratory virtually, right? It's so different than anyone could have ever imagined, but they persevered, and their determination to not only catch up to pre-pandemic levels, but accelerate past it. This class is special. So undoubtedly they will be able to graduate and make a difference in our world because of things that they have gone through. So they are extra special for that, but they are also my first class graduating, when I started as principal. I started as principal on March 3rd of 2020, so this is, the first full year of my principalship was this class, so they're extra special to me.
Even though the future story of this year's senior class is yet to be written, Mr. Ribello says the students are leaving Diamond career and life ready.
Every year we do a senior follow-up form. So before students graduate, they fill out a form that determines exactly what they are going into. 4-year college, 2-year college, trade school, or right into their careers, or military, of course. So we'll have that data. It's not available just yet, but I can tell you that we have nearly 200 seniors out on cooperative education right now. Instead of coming to school, they're out in the workplace gaining real world experience and being paid in their industries for it. So that's a great sign that, they are the next generation of workforce for this community. It's something we take personally, and that's a great sign that almost 200 of our 331 graduating seniors are currently working out in our community, being that next generation of workforce.
As classes continue through June 17th, Mr. Ribello says the 2023-2024 school year has been a successful one, with the expansion of advanced placement class offerings and a new community partnership.
One of the most exciting initiatives that we did, the first in the area, is a school-based health center. So each day we have a physician on campus that students can go see, that next level of care. So instead of bringing, missing, if I'm a parent or I'm a caregiver, instead of missing time out of work to bring my child to the doctor, that child can now see a physician on campus here at Diamond free of charge. And our partnership with Health First is an absolutely monumental milestone for this community as far as healthcare goes, providing that next level of care right here at Diamond free of charge with no copay, with no wait time. And we started that this past spring, and it's going incredibly well.
The Atlantis Charter School will hold its 7th high school graduation 1 week from Friday at 6 p.m. in their school auditorium on the campus on Jefferson Street. Atlantis Executive Director Robert Beatty says 58 students will cross the stage next week.
We are, while we're one of the larger charter schools in the state, we're still a small community. We have a lot of teachers that have been with many of these kids for years, some for over a decade. We have always a handful of kids that started as kindergarten students at Atlantis and are graduating now 13 years later. So it's exciting for the community to be able to, watch those kids grow up, and the graduation day itself is a great celebration. Like I said, we have a lot of staff that attend, and a lot of our families obviously show up, and just a nice way to celebrate the seniors as they're leaving high school.
Mr. Beatty says the students in the graduating class will either attend college or directly enter the workforce.
What we see from alumni is many of them coming back and saying that they felt better prepared for what they were going to study in college and also for the career that they're pursuing. We had one student return after a couple of years in college. She's pursuing a nursing degree, and she said that the senior year, her freshman year in college, she felt so prepared because so much of the work preparing in the medical field she had done at Atlantis in the Medical Career Academy. And it just sort of solidified her interest in that industry. She felt very prepared to do the work that was expected of her. And she went into college with some internship experience. So she had worked in the medical field before even going to college and then pursuing some of the work experience that she does through her college program. So we are finding that kids are feeling better prepared for career paths that they may want to pursue.
Mr. Beatty says the K-12 charter school of just over 1,300 students has undergone an academic transformation that focuses on younger students as well as those in high school.
We made a pretty significant investment in our literacy program at the school, particularly at our lower grades, and so far that's been a really exciting development for the school. Our teachers have participated in a lot of professional development towards that program. It just does I would say, I guess, a more robust approach to teaching reading to young children in particular, and using the hard science of reading to be able to do that. And then at the high school level, we've had continued development of our Career Academy program, and that's been really exciting. Right now, we have almost 90% of our seniors have an identified pathway, and the remaining, we hope over the next couple of weeks, we'll hear from them what their choice is for as they're leaving high school and heading into whatever their life looks like beyond high school. So for many of our kids, that's been acceptance to a 2 or 4 year college and a plan for the path that they'll pursue academically. And for some kids, they've participated in our Career Academy program. They've identified a career path that they want to pursue, and they're headed right into the workforce, in many cases in that career path.
Local Catholics are mourning the passing of former Bishop George Coleman. Bishop Coleman led the Diocese of Fall River as its 7th bishop from July of 2003 to September of 2014. A Fall River native, Bishop Coleman served within the diocese for his entire career following his ordination in 1964. In retirement, while able, Bishop Coleman continued to serve the diocese, often assisting with parish masses. A mass of Christian burial for Bishop Coleman will be held Friday at 11 a.m. at St. Mary's Cathedral. We'll have more FRC Media News after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Host or hostess, Pub 99, located at 404 Pleasant Street, is seeking a full-time host or hostess, responsible for greeting, welcoming, and seating customers as they enter the restaurant or dining area. Job number 208-98042. Client Service Associate, LaPointe Insurance Agency, located at 10 North Main Street, first floor, is looking for a full-time Client Service Associate to support the service team with various client-facing tasks, ensuring clients receive exceptional service and support. Job number 208-98172. Toxicologist, Star, located at 400 Stanley Street, seeks a full-time toxicologist, responsible for all aspects of the urine specimen process, as mandated by state and federal regulations. Job number 208-97098. Commercial Sales Manager. AutoZone, located at 355 Rhode Island Avenue, is looking for a full-time commercial sales manager. For more information, call 508-679-2177. Diamond Regional Vocational Technical High School, located at 251 Stonehaven Road, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. School Adjustment Counselor, job number 208-96155. Director of Technology, job number 208-97929. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.ul.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. With the unofficial kickoff of summer last weekend, the first big event at the Norton City Pier will take place this Saturday afternoon with Rock the Dock.
Yeah, well, they can expect a bunch of food trucks, a concert. It's only in the afternoon, 1 to 3. We're going to dedicate our new docks. We got a Allman Brothers cover band that's going to play. They've played at like a lot of the casinos all up and down the East Coast, and we're just hoping it's going to be a good show. We want people to know that the Norton City Pier is going to be very active this summer, and come on down and see what we can do. And we'll have a few events, and we'll be leading into the 4th, which is sounds like to me the way this is going, it's going to be bigger than ever also. So we should have a busy summer along our waterfront and throughout the city. We got a lot of things planned, and we're going to try to keep people having some alternatives to get out and have some laughs.
As work continues during the reconstruction of Route 79, the city is preparing to have ample parking available for attendees at all waterfront events.
We rented that little lot right along the waterfront next to Hathaway Street. And we do have parking along the street still. We did not lose that, thank God. But at the same time, we had shuttles running, we had buses running, and we'll get people, once we contract with the lots, we'll make everybody aware of where they can park, and we'll pop them back and forth and hopefully keep traffic to a minimum. It's going to be a struggle for a few years until 79 is done, but we want to try to accommodate people. We don't want people walking 3/4 of a mile or a mile to an event. If we can give them a bus ride, we'll do that. So it's going to be a fun summer, and we will definitely announce all the parking lots that are available and how you can go about getting a ride down to the waterfront.
This Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. at the gates of the city on Ponte Delgada Boulevard, the Fall River Pride Committee is hosting its 5th annual Pride Festival.
So our theme this year is going to be bigger, better, bolder, gayer. The idea here is to really continue to kind of push the envelope of our visibility and being out loud, that we're part of this community. This is our 5th annual event. You can expect some incredible family fun. We have over 25 performers. I have 85 vendors, a kids corner, the bookmobile, 6 food trucks. We're just going to kind of get together and celebrate out loud to remind people that LGBT people are part of every community across every town and city in America. We're here to stay, and we're here to be happy and spread joy and love, and let the younger kids know that they're not alone the way a lot of us gay adults felt alone when we were kids, and to really give a safe place to kind of come out into the community and really celebrate all that is our love and the diversity of our community.
The event is the official kickoff of Pride Month to bring awareness of the LGBTQ+ community here in Fall River and around the world.
People tend to kind of miss that. They're like, why does it have to be a gay pride? Where is straight pride? And all those kind of things. You hear a lot of those things. And the reason why there's still LGBT pride is because I think people are really misinformed about the history of gay people. Right? Gay people have been documented in history since early history, over 12,000 years ago. They've been a part of almost every culture and civilization throughout history. June was explicitly picked because of the Stonewall riots in 1969 outside of New York, where queer people just wanted to exist in a queer space, and they were harassed and attacked and arrested and jailed and fined. So it became this kind of, as much as it's a celebration now, it also began again as a protest to allow queer people to live their lives out loud, because we're just like everyone else. We form families, we have kids, we're part of the community. And I think people need to kind of remember that all we're trying to do is have a place where we are part of the bigger fabric. But June allows us to kind of put a spotlight on the history and what queer people have kind of gone through. And I think it's really important to note, and I talked about it in my little welcome letter in our ad book that you can pick up at the event. You know, there's only about 30 countries that allow same-sex marriage, and there's over 60 that jail, fine, or execute gay people.
With the national recognition of Pride Month comes greater acceptance to those who identify as being members of the LGBTQ+ community.
I definitely think there's a lot more acceptance, and I think a big part of that acceptance came from Pride events. It came from the visibility, because it's a lot harder to deny the existence of queer people when we're out and you see us and you realize we're your brothers and your sisters and your siblings, we're your co-workers and your friends. We exist in every single town in America. I think part of what's happening now is because there's been such visibility that's kind of happened fairly rapidly. There's also come with a pushback and kind of blowback against it, and that we're lewd and we're groomers and we're pedophiles and all these things that we hear all of the time, which is just simply not the case, right? The idea of being out loud is the idea of being our authentic selves as part of a community. We might be different, but we have a lot more that's the same, that we just want to love and be understood and be our authentic selves and be able to allow gay people and gay kids who are coming up to have a little bit less hatred for themselves and have a little bit better understanding of themselves, so there's less shame and less stigma.
We'll wrap up this edition of FRC Media News after this.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today with us we have Gordon. He is a 1-year-old male domestic short hair. He would do good in a home with kids. If you had a busy household, he would be fine. He doesn't seem to be disturbed by much. He doesn't mind being held. I feel like you'll get the best of both worlds with him. You get a playful young cat, and then you also have a little cuddle bug at the same time. He's very content. When you hold him too, he's a little purr monster. And he is only a year old, but he's a decent size. And he does like to eat. He's a very good eater. So he did come into us as a stray. So if you want to come down and meet him, you can give Forever Paws Animal Shelter a call to make an appointment. All of our contact information is also on foreverpaws.com. Definitely call, make an appointment to come meet Gordon. I know he'd love to meet you and you won't be disappointed.
Today we have Kai. He's a 10-month-old collie mix, and he is a pretty lovable boy that has a lot of energy. That's just due to his age and his breed. So they're usually going to have like a lot of energy like that. And he is a puppy, so usually you're going to do any of that basic training with them anyway. He could be with kids 12 and up, we recommend, just because he is a very energetic dog. He does love his treats, usually the training treats, any snack and bacon, things like that, he does love. Not too much interest in toys here besides plush toys with squeakers. So if you want to come down and meet Kai, I recommend calling Forever Paws, going online to our website, foreverpaws.com. You can fill out an application or come in to meet him and fill out an app. He's a very sweet dog. We'd love for him to go to a nice home, large yard, or like just plenty of space so he can be worked with, because he is a very energetic dog. Come on down and meet Kai. He would love to meet you.
That'll do it for this edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website, frmedia.org, for all the latest news and local information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.